Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to try something a little different today. I know I've been doing some trainings. We did a challenge, but I just really want to get on here and just give you a taste of who is Rachel and like what is it that I genuinely believe at my core. So what I really want to talk about today is how you can't think your way out of trauma. You have to feel your way out of it. So this is really what came to a head for me when I was going through my journey. You know, I'm sure some of you can relate. Reading every book that you can get your hands on, joining every class that you can join, um, doing just anything you can think of, and you've amassed all this knowledge. So you're thinking to yourself, well, I already know what's going on with me. Like I can tell you what's going on. I can tell you why. But what I can't do is move that trauma from my body. Um, so intellectualizing your way through trauma is only going to give you awareness. Now, awareness is great, but awareness is only the first step. And really, then there's two steps in my mind after awareness. And that would be the second step is commitment. Are you committed to doing the work in order to change? So that level of commitment requires that you start working on your nervous system so that you feel safe enough to commit. And then that final level there, which is kind of intermingled, is taking action. So now we're committed. We're saying, I want to change. I want to move these emotions out of my body. I want to be able to feel regulated in my body. I don't want to be in fight or flight. I don't want to be in freeze. I don't want to be in fawn, which is another of those states that you can be in. So then you take the action, and this is not a one day action, right? You're not just going to wake up and say, okay, I'm going to breathe today and we're done. And all of a sudden, I'm going to feel better. This is committed action that happens daily. And so you're going to be stretching your capacity. So if your capacity is right here, you're going to just try to stretch it and stretch it and stretch it. So there is some discomfort when it comes to healing. And that's why you have to have those nervous system regulation tools. That's why you breathe. That's why you ground. That's why you do visualizations, spending time in nature, these things that I've set up in the group for you already in those files. And there's a resource section with a bunch of grounding exercises and breathing. Those things keep you safe enough to move the mark, even if it's ever so slightly, so that you can heal. So, again, most of us probably are sitting in awareness. We all know what's going on, right? We understand that our nervous system is not regulated most of our time that we're here. What we need to do now is commit to taking the action and then take the action. So that's really what I set up this group for, um, is to help you commit and to help you take the action. So the first thing that you can do to commit and to take action is you can go and have a breakthrough call with me. So you get a half an hour with me. You get to talk about one of your issues. You can get it all prepared before you come if you want, or we can just let it happen organically. And then I will work with you on what is the next step that you should be taking. And the next step comes with consistency, right? Taking action one time is great. It's like a start, right? It's like you're telling your brain, I can do this. But what your brain needs to rewire itself is I need to be able to take this action multiple times. And I need to make it into then a habit. And remember, we had talked before about micro habits, right? So it doesn't have to be a huge action. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to do yoga for an hour a day. That's just not really sustainable for most anyone. That's not sustainable for me. But you start with something small. I'm going to walk for 5 minutes a day. I'm going to drink one more cup of water. And then you'll get to the point where you're drinking two or three of these a day over time. Make that first action small. So you join the breakthrough call, we have a discussion, and then we create that plan together with a micro habit that you can keep building on. That is your action, right? Let's not get stuck in intellectualizing our trauma. You can't logic your way into the safety. It sounds That sounds so nice, right? I know what's wrong with me. Why can't I just fix it? Like I can't even tell you how many times I've said this. So many times. I probably even said it in in the last month or two, when you're trying to work past something and it just comes back up again. You're like, "Well, I already know this is an issue. Why can't I get past it?" That when you say that, I already know, I'm already aware. It's great to have that awareness. I'm so proud of you for doing the work to have that awareness. That awareness should open you up to say, "Okay, what's next?" Commitment and then action. Committed action. So, I'm just speaking just from my heart. I hope you can see my heart today. I just encourage you so strongly to book that call. It's free. It's absolutely free. It's just something I give you just for being here because I know we all want to move past where we are and move to where we need to go. And here's what's beautiful is it's a process. It's not linear, right? You're not like, okay, I'm here and like next year I'm going to be here. It's not. You're going to move up, you're going to move down, you're going to move up, you're going to move down. That's why this is a community, right? This, when I was going through from the hardest times to where I am right now, what always seemed to be missing for me is community. And so many people talk about community and you join these groups and they feel like a community when you're in that moment, but it's not the same thing as actually having a community. So my why this is so important to me, why this lights me up so much is because I want to bring that community to you. And that requires a little bit of a stretch of your nervous system as well. Start posting in the comments when I make something. Do a small action that makes this a community. And in the meantime, while we're building this beautiful community, that's why you can message me privately. That's why we can get on a breakthrough call. I am totally available to you. Reach out to me. I am so here for you. I am here to see your growth. This is what lights me up. Absolutely lights me up. So, yeah, I'm just at this point. My nervous system is now excited in a good way, but it's also excited. Um, yes. So, do the work, learn, educate yourself. The pathway that I have in there, the resilience pathway, it gives you some very simple explanations of things. It talks about the nervous system. It talks about a few things that you can do that you can create habits out of that are very simple on your nervous system. They're not going to be completely overwhelming to your nervous system. So jump in there and take a look at that. I would suggest that highly. Then in there again, there's additional resources. We have different breath modalities, grounding, so many really cool things in there that you can try and see what works for you. Not everything is going to work for everyone. And that's like, I think, what is so beautiful about your process is that it really is your process. So, again, jump into those files, book your breakthrough call, and let's just have a conversation. This is me. This is the me you're going to get. Um, I am to the point. We are going to move the marker. I am here. I am committed to you taking your actions. So, awareness, commitment, action, action. Let's get there. All right. Thank you. Super short, but it just was on my heart to really talk about this today. Um, I'm just so grateful that I get to be here with you. I'm so grateful that you want to give your time to healing. That is such a beautiful thing. You should, I just take a moment and breathe that in. Like, I love myself enough to be here in this group. That in and of itself is such an act of self-love. That shows that you are ready to take commitment and action. So, if you don't feel it now in yourself, just know that Rachel is proud of you and Rachel knows you will get to the next step. So, again, I'm going to put the link to the breakthrough call when I post this replay. Book it in. If the times don't work for you, shoot me a message. If you just are like, I cannot get on a call, I am just so overwhelmed, shoot me a message. Let's figure this out together. We're all at different points in our journey. So I will meet you where you're at. I promise you, I will meet you where you're at. I want to see you succeed. And I know you can, and I know you will. And that's why you're here. And I am so proud of you. All right. Thank you.